Lesson 118. Sins against truth. What is a lie? A lie is something said for the purpose of deceiving others, which we know or suspect to be untrue. A lie expresses opposition between one's word and one's thought. It implies the intention to deceive by stating what is false. Lying is a sin even when it may be the means of effecting much good. We must not commit evil in order to obtain good. A malicious lie is told for the purpose of injuring someone. It is by its nature a mortal sin. It becomes venial when the injury done is slight. A lie taken under oath is perjury, a mortal sin. An officious lie is told to avert evil from oneself or others. It is called a white lie. A jocose lie is told to amuse others. Very often it is no sin at all, as when we relate an imaginary narrative for the amusement or instruction of others, tell a joke which we made up, relate fables and fairy tales, etc. But if a jocose lie has harmful results, it becomes sinful. Sins related to lying, as violations of the respect due to truth, are hypocrisy and flattery. Hypocrisy or dissimulation is acting a lie. It is hypocrisy to pretend to be better than we are. It was hypocrisy of Judas to kiss our Lord like a friend when it was only to betray him. Those who are outwardly pious but lead lives of sin are hypocrites. They resemble Satan, who can assume the form of an angel of light. Jesus called hypocrites whited sepulchres, beautiful outside but within full of dead men's bones. Flattery consists in praising a person immoderately, against one's conviction, for an ulterior motive. A flatterer lies in order to secure an advantage for himself. The man who flatters his neighbour is spreading a net under his feet. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who change darkness into light and light into darkness. When does a person commit the sin of rash judgment? A person commits the sin of rash judgment when, without sufficient reason, he believes something harmful to another's character. People judge others by themselves. He who is not evil will less likely think evil quickly of others. He who is a sinner will interpret the actions of others in an evil manner at once. Charity thinks no evil. A just person, even when he sees evil, tries to avoid thinking of it and leaves the judgment to God. Do not judge that you may not be judged, for with what judgment you judge, you shall be judged. When does a person commit the sin of detraction? A person commits the sin of detraction when, without good reason, he makes known the hidden faults of another. To speak of what everybody knows or of what appeared in the newspapers is not detraction. It is, however, contemptible for newspapers to publish family troubles that are of no public concern. Tale-bearing is a most despicable form of detraction, and repeating to a person unfavourable remarks made about him. Uncharitable conversation is commonly termed backbiting, a cowardly act of discussing the known faults of another without necessity and behind his back. It is wrong to listen to detraction and uncharitable conversation, if we take pleasure in it or encourage it. Let anything you heard die within you. When does a person commit the sin of calumny or slander? A person commits the sin of calumny or slander when, by lying, he injures the good name of another. Gossip is a form of calumny because it usually exaggerates a person's faults or sin with malice. Contumely or insult dishonours a person unjustly in his presence by refusing to show him the signs of honour due him or by not noticing him. Libel is any public defamatory accusation maliciously made, whether the facts be true or not. This may be done by letter, telephone, radio, motion picture, television, etc. Calumny or slander, gossip or libel are sins against justice. When are we obliged to keep a secret? We are obliged to keep a secret when we have promised to do so, when our office requires it, or when the good of another demands it. A priest may never reveal anything confided to him in confession, even if keeping it secret will result in death for himself or others. This rule has no exception. A secret may be revealed when it is for the good of the guilty person, it will save ourselves or others from evil, keeping it secret is against justice or the welfare of society, and the person to whom it is revealed has a right to know. When there is just reason for revealing a secret, we may do so to persons in authority, such as parents, superiors, teachers, or courts of law. Serious faults should be made known to parents, teachers, and superiors who may be able to correct them. Care should be taken to avoid exaggerating faults. It is wrong to read another person's letters without permission. Eavesdroppers are contemptible. A tattletale is despicable. What must a person do who has sinned by detraction or calumny, or has told a secret he is bound to keep? A person who has sinned by detraction or calumny, or who has told a secret he is bound to keep, must repair the harm he has done to his neighbour as far as he is able. If the offence was made before others, we must retract publicly. If we do not endeavour to repair the harm we have done, we cannot obtain God's pardon or the priest's absolution. It is very difficult, and sometimes impossible, to make perfect reparation for calumny and detraction. Words once spoken are not forgotten by those who hear. A story is told of a saintly cure of Ars and a penitent at the confessional, who had confessed having gossiped about an acquaintance. The penitent thought he got off very easily indeed when all the penance he was given was to drop 1 by 1 10 blades of straw in the yard before his house at a distance of 5 metres apart, and then go back and pick up the 10 blades. Going home he proceeded to perform the penance, but he realized the lesson the saintly priest wished him to learn when, upon returning to pick up the blades of straw, he could find none. The wind had blown them all away.